Hey guys, Slater Magic here, and I have to know. We have to figure this out. This is the biggest mystery in all of MTG history. Oh my god, that rhymed. I should totally make that the video title. Oh my god, the biggest mystery in MTG history. That's just vague clickbait though. MTG's greatest mystery. Is Wedge actually the professor from Tolarian Community College in a very convincing... Well, it wouldn't really be a wig, would it? Because he's got less hair. Okay, never mind. That one fell apart. Is the professor from Tolarian Community College actually Wedge with a wig on? And some pretty good makeup and prosthetics and other assorted, it's, you know what, they don't look anything alike. In fact, Wedge kind of looks like my cousin, and the professor kind of looks like the Quaker Oat guy, a.k.a. William Penn, by the way, the guy who Pennsylvania was named after. There you go. You just learned something educational from my channel. Anyway, is Modern Masters 3 going to bomb or be the bomb? Is it going to be a disaster, or is it going to be just Wizards printing the hell out of every expensive card in all of history? Well, let's start with what the set has going against it. The rumor is they're printing 5x, 500% increase over Modern Masters 2015. Let me check. Are there 500% more players? No. Are there 500% more modern players? Probably not. I would say probably negative 10% over 2015. I don't know. I mean, it isn't 5x. Like, even if it grew 50%, it isn't 500%. So if that rumor's true, that is almost the only fact you need to know about it. That would sink it. Nobody is there to buy that much volume. I mean, nobody, especially the investors who are the biggest buyer of limited sets that are printed at a significant volume, I guess you would say. Plus, investors? Okay, let's talk about investors. That's where a huge amount of the demand is, because, I mean, I don't know if it's like 50% gets to the hands of players and 50% goes into storage from 1,000 different, you know, people who sit on sealed product. Like, I have no idea. It might be 75-25. It might be 95% players, 5% hoarders. I have no idea. I feel like, though, it probably is flirting more with the 50% mark, because it seems like, you know, you can still buy MM1 if you want, and you can certainly still buy MM2, so somebody has that somewhere. So with the investors gone, that is such a significant chunk of the demand that it might sink the price and sink the set by itself, even without the whole 5x rumor. Oh, and then the investors hear the 5x rumor, and it compounds itself, and there you go, $180 pre-orders on eBay right now. But here's why investors are pissed. One, Commander 2016, they said they would print it to death, wasn't even WPN locked or allocated. I didn't touch it because I sell singles, not sealed product. I'm not even authorized to sell sealed product online. And then all of a sudden, after like a month and a half, Wizards just pulls the plug. They're just like, nope, we're not printing anymore. And like, they were getting popular. I mean, I think some of these decks were like $55 or something. Like, what the hell? Some of them were shooting way up. And you don't have to worry about devaluing a deck that's a brand new deck. I mean, it's like, if it becomes a popular, you know, net deck, which is kind of hard to call it a net deck if it's Commander, you know, there aren't really big tournaments, but just powerful deck archetypes, well, you just printed brand new generals and a couple brand new cards. I mean, some of them are reprints, but come on. You really don't have to worry about devaluing them. It's not a reprint set. So Wizards could have printed that until people run out of money, and yet they didn't. They pulled the plug on it. I don't understand that at all, unless their printing schedule said they couldn't keep doing it, and they actually needed the printing equipment for the next set. That's my theory. So anyway, you know, people were like, oh wow, the prices just keep going up, and then next week it's up even higher, next week it's up even higher, keep giving me Commander. And then, nope, you're done with Commander now, I guess, sorry. So investors, resellers, anybody in the whole MTG economy was kind of pissed about that one. I mean, anybody. Oh, and then Eternal Masters. Oh, it's so valuable. It's $300 a box. Oh, and now we're done. It's a limited print run, super limited. And then literally the exact opposite, the antonym of the word limited, unlimited, which by definition is whenever the hell you want, you run off some more Eternal Masters or go get them from a warehouse. You know, debatable. That's not limited, okay? That is literally a lie, a word for word lie, okay? When Wizards is like, it's limited, now we're done, here it is again, that's a lie. People were pissed because, I mean, what was a box the second time around? I actually don't remember. I think it was below 200 though, so yay. So investors got burned on that because if they were sitting on them, they probably acquired them for a not so friendly price, or they didn't acquire enough the first time, and then they overpaid for even more because they're greedy. I mean, so they brought it on themselves. And speaking of bringing stuff on themselves, Planechase Anthology. Okay, this is where the disconnect between investors and actual members of the MTG community comes about. Ask anybody who's been playing for like a year, is Planechase Anthology going to flop? Every single one of them universally would have said yes. One, the $150 MSRP. That is loony. Number two, nobody plays Planechase and I was going to say Planechase Anthology. Nobody plays Planechase, the format. It's not like people are rushing out to say, oh my god, we have to play Planechase. Oh, we got to practice for the big Planechase game day or the big Planechase national tournament. No, that wasn't even a thing. It was just like, buy it if you want. You don't need it at all. So the demand for it was zero, and then Wizards just printed it to death after telling everybody, oh, we're printing such small amounts, your allocation is going to be really small. And then these idiot investors who are just like, it's a product, yay, I don't know anything about Magic in reality. They bought it all up when their investors like, hey, you know how you said like you wanted a dozen? Well, would you like 1,000 more? And that didn't like raise a red flag. They just thought that they were getting special sweetheart deals and special treatment from their vendors. Yeah. Yeah, that must be it. Totally. It's not that they're trying to liquidate thousands and thousands and thousands of boxes of it because nobody wants it because the demand is zero and Wizards a bunch of idiots. So that was their own damn fault for getting stuck with that one, because anybody who actually knows the game knows that nobody plays Planechase. But hey, getting burned 3 times in a row, and honestly, Kaladesh was a complete flop price-wise, for single sellers, I should say. Aether Revolt, I mean, I even made like a 10-20% profit on that. I was pretty happy about that. That's because they cranked the power level up to 9,001, but, that was the only way to make a short set worth money, so whatever. But that anomaly aside, every investor is pissed because all these limited things have either lost them money or failed to make them money. So here comes the next limited product, Modern Masters 2017. They're a little bit leery and cautious. They're probably going to get greedy at some point and try to scoop up a whole bunch. But for now, I think them taking their pre-orders and stuff out of the market, it's just sank the price. Either that or vendors really actually believe the whole 5x rumor and they themselves are setting the price lower and just like, we haven't even seen for sure a card in it yet, and they're like giving up and liquidating it just above cost, which is pretty messed up. I think everybody's just leery about losing money because at $180 a box, you don't lose money. You pay about $135 to $142 per box from a distributor. So even with shipping and fees and crap and sales tax and whatever else, you're not really losing money. So I think everybody's like, fine, screw it. I don't want to break even. I don't want to lose money on this. I'll just take a tiny little 10-20% margin, call it a day. Even though normally, you sell it local, you're going to make 50% plus. I mean, even online, what does it normally cost? Like $220 or something for a box of anything Masters normally? So it seems everybody in the world has given up on that, and it is a fact, not a theory, that it is going for $180 right now on eBay. That is not so good. Now, what else the set has going against it is all 3 of the mythics are garbage. To summarize it, because I already said this in the last video, Modern Masters 2015, look at the 3 pieces of artwork on the boosters. It was like $40, $50, $60. Great. What are the 3 mythics this time? We assume they're mythics, and that's why their artwork is down there. Maybe not. Like $2, $6, and $12? 2 of those are below the freaking MSRP of the booster, and they're on the front of it. Yeah, this ain't Karn, Vendilion, Clique, and freaking Noble Hierarch or whatever. This is some dude I've never heard of, some chick I've never heard of in Grizzlebrand. That does not bode well unless Wizards is purposely like pranking us. Like they're pulling the reverse. Instead of putting the big money cards on the artwork, this time around they're putting the worst mythics on it. And then there's going to be some just crazy bomb cards in there. So that's actually a nice segue. So you heard all the negatives that could potentially ruin it, and it sounds really damn bad and really, really realistic. It sounds very logical that this set will bomb, but Wizards has been greedy as hell lately. Everything they've done has manipulated the market to sell more boxes. They added back in masterpieces. They made MTGO cost about double to play on average with the treasure chest BS. And just everything they've done has been about money, money, money. Why would they print a set that nobody will touch? Because at a certain point, the distributors are going to finally, for once, tell Wizards, don't you dare ship us another one of these. We will send it right straight back to you. If you're not familiar with how the system works, instead of a distributor saying, here's our number of pre-orders, send us this many Kaladesh boxes, we'll say. We have 1.5 million boxes on order, so send us, 1.6 or something. What actually happens is they take the pre-orders, do nothing with them, and then Wizards sends them however the hell many they think they should get. I am not kidding. That's how it works, according to my own rep at my own distributor. Wizards just says, hi, we're sending you 3 million. Have fun, sell it. Now, usually it comes in waves, and if there is absolutely no demand, they will stop printing it at some point. It's not all at once, just one big dump. But like with Planechase Anthology, it kind of was from what I heard. So I don't know. So if all the distributors, all the agents are calling up their usual customers, the big stores, big investors, big long-term holders, and they're saying, you know what, give me 4 cases. And they're like, last time you ordered 400 cases. Are you sure you want 4 cases? Yes, I think this product is going to suck and I hate Wizards and they're screwing me over and losing me money. I'm not going to risk it. Send me 4 cases instead of 400. Everybody across the board will say that. And then the distributor's like, oh crap. So then they call up Wizards. Hi, we have 10% the normal demand. That's right. Our demand has been reduced by 90%. Can you not send us 10 million boxes of this? We cannot get rid of it. And if we're stuck with 90% of this, we are never going to sell another Wizards product as long as you live. Seriously, do not send us 10 million boxes. I have a feeling that will happen, and I have a feeling it won't go so well. Because seriously, Wizards really, allegedly, screws over their distributors. Like, seriously, if Wizards is like, we're going to print whatever we want, and then the customers are like, we're going to buy whatever we want, it's the middlemen that get stuck with it if the answer is we don't want it. In fact, if you're wondering why now, all of a sudden, with no announcement from Wizards, for some frickin' unknown reason, distributors are like, we're now selling Modern Masters 3 to non-WPN locations. If you're wondering why that decision was made, I have a theory. Their pre-orders were nothing. I mean, it was just not in line with 500x, we'll say, for 500%. So they told Wizards, okay, if you're going to send us 10 million boxes, we're going to sell it to whoever the hell we want. Because right now, we've only sold 10, 20, 30% of the stock. And we're going to get stuck with 70%. So screw you, we're going to sell it to whoever the hell we want. Oh, plus, it goes to the hands of whoever the hell anybody wants anyway. It's like everybody always says, if you go online to eBay or to TCG Player or any of these companies' own actual websites, you'll find that they're pretty much a fake WPN location. I mean, maybe they actually have a store and 12 people show up for F&M. Great. They're the ones ordering 10,000 boxes of a limited set. And for some reason, the distributors let them get away with it. And Wizards doesn't care because it's money in their pockets. So when you could just go online and buy a, quote, limited WPN location only product at a place that's selling 99% of it not locally, what is the WPN program? It's a load of crap is what it is. So distributors and everybody in the network doesn't have any respect for it, basically. Or everybody outside the WPN network. I'm sure the ones in it wish everybody else would stay out, but they're all liars selling it online anyway, so who cares? And the legitimate, honest WPN locations like local stores, like small local stores, they just get completely screwed by the whole thing. Because all these limited WPN only allocated products end up on the internet, and then they have to compete with that, which is not how it's supposed to work, but Wizards just pretends it's not a problem and just lets distributors sell to whoever they want. So thus now distributors are selling to whoever the hell they want, literally. Like without us having to do shady crap to get it and pretend to be a WPN location. So I think that whole illusion has officially shattered, and I think the reason is because the distributors are like, have you seen the pre-order numbers for this set? We can't move this. We're going to lose like a good fraction of $1 billion on this set. No thanks. I'm going to sell it to people who don't even, like, play Magic anywhere. Like, people who are just like, that sounds neat, I'll take it. They're going to be, like, holding a bake sale in front of their building, in front of their warehouse with, like, nice little lemonade for 50 cents, maybe a plate of cookies for $3, and then a box of frickin' Modern Masters 2017 for, like, $90. Honestly, at this point, that's the only way they're going to move these boxes. They have to explore every avenue, and I think this time around, the distributors dictated how they're going to sell Wizards product for them, and I applaud them if that's the case. Since Wizards is completely tight-lipped and not mentioning anything about this in any kind of press release, I'm going to go ahead and assume that my theory is correct. So, non-WPN people are moving it. Well, who the hell are they moving it to if they're not holding F&M? I mean, stores like mine, we don't do a lot of local sales. It's no big surprise that non-WPN locations are pretty much just online single sellers. So, you know, it's just more supply, but it's more distributed. The demand is still the same online, so it doesn't really fix anything. I'm basically saying opening up the product to a wider market of sellers that normally wouldn't get the product, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't magically create more customers. In general, though, it just seems like a good idea to get more potential sellers, more potential avenues of moving your product out there. Like, the math doesn't really support it, but maybe these people start posting on Facebook or Craigslist, selling it to friends of theirs, you know, just whatever. Like, they'll start moving it in a little bit more just because there's literally more people selling it and who knows where they're selling it to. So theoretically, that's a benefit. So what else does the set have going for it? Well, Modern is pretty popular. I mean, Frontier is kind of not going anywhere right now. And, they said, oh, we just remade Nationals and we're also not holding Modern at it. Well, then nothing really changed. They just missed out on a potential to play Modern another time, I guess. But it's still kind of a wash. Nothing is stopping people from playing Modern locally. And last I heard, Modern is catching on. So I think there is some growth there compared to 2015. I mean, I was joking before when I said it's probably 10% less popular. It's 50% less popular at the pro level because that's how many tournaments it's played at. In other words, they pulled Modern competitive play from the Pro Tour, in case you didn't hear that. But there are potentially more people. There's a lot of new players who have been playing Standard, are now probably sick to their ass over Aether Revolt and Cons of Tarkir, which both were equated to about the same badness level. I mean, one was $1,000 unplayability, and you couldn't beat Ugin decks, you couldn't beat Esper decks, you couldn't beat Jeskai. You couldn't beat those decks. They could not be beaten. Now, Aether Revolt, top 3 decks, they basically can't be beaten. In fact, the top damn 2 decks can't be beaten. So, you got new players, and new players don't just jump straight into Modern, and they're sick of Standard. Standard is the most toxic, unfriendly environment I've ever seen in my entire life right now. There you go, potential increase for Modern demand. Maybe some F&Ms will switch to Modern. They are allowed to do that. So maybe the Modern market has increased by 100% even. That would start munching up a lot of product. Obviously not 500%, but let's say that's false. Okay, now we've got a hot set on our hands. We're talking 240 plus on eBay because, well, quite simply, there will not be enough to go around if that was the case. Now let's return to one point I made earlier. Wizards has been doing everything they can to make every penny they can. I mean, they started licensing out their IP to D3 Go for Puzzle Quest, and that actually worked. Like I said, they made MTGO way the hell more profitable, I'll say. Expensive is the right term. Well, I mean, it was until everybody quit and crashed the whole economy in that game. That probably had a bad effect on sales. But hey, it costs at least double the draft now, or something like that. I think it was actually higher than double for drafters. Well, and then there was overprinting, Planechase anthology, so just everything indicates they want to make money. Why would they take their arguably number one most highest, maybe grossing, probably not grossing, but highest profitability, like net profit product, and like sabotage it by making it awful in that it would contain garbage cards, which the artwork seems to indicate. And then, like I said in the other videos, with Modern being suppressed by Wizards, allegedly, I still don't think that's even true, but with Modern dying and them trying to kill it, wouldn't they try to get every penny they possibly could out of it? Wouldn't they reprint Liliana and Jace? Wait, he's banned, isn't he? Can't think of, I don't know, Snapcaster, reprint, even Fulminator, he's still a little bit high. He never really got suppressed. Tarmogoyf, throw him in there. Path to Exile, why the hell not? I mean, all the fetch lands, all 10 of them, throw them in there. I mean, it would just make them so much money. They could literally print it at 5x and nobody would care because people would buy the hell out of it. If you made the box EV 450, do you know how many boxes it would take to get back down to 250? A hell of a lot of boxes. And then, oh my God, look at the singles prices crashing by 30, 40, 50%. Time to get into Modern, everybody who's not in Modern. Boom, there's a bunch of more demand. Oh, look at the prices creeping back up. Let's print and open more boxes. I mean, it would be like explosive levels of profit. So here's the thing. If Wizards is actually truly saying, if this is not a rumor, if they are saying that they're printing 500% more, maybe it's because there are just crazy amounts of bomb cards in the set. Think about that for a second. Why the hell would they print 500% if they don't think it'll sell and they shorted it and all the mythics are crap and the box EV is $150? It doesn't make sense. It isn't in line with what they've been doing for the last year and a half, which is doing everything they could do to make money. If I look at Conspiracy, my God, Birds of Paradise, whatever the hell else was in there, they printed those to death, and who cares? They just pocketed the money on a set that people weren't that interested in playing. I mean, if you're a hardcore drafter, you got excited and you wanted to play it, but after that, half the cards, or like a certain percentage of the cards, were literally not playable in another format. They were only for Conspiracy. I don't draft if the value of the draft is 0 when I get done. That's just stupid. Also, I generally just don't draft. I hate drafting. But regardless, I would prefer to have some value left over. So I've been going pretty hard on Wizards and making it sound like this set's gonna bomb. I mean, I gave both sides of it, but come on, it looks like one side's winning, right? Oh, no, that is not my actual opinion. I think this is going to be one of the hottest sets ever printed. I think they are stuffing it full of crazy cards, and they knew damn well what they were doing. They knew that investors, well, not just investors, everybody, every vendor has to place their orders before we know one single card in it. Every standard set, every master set, every reprint set, even Commander, we have to place our orders before we know a single spoiler. That's how it always works. So the investors who are like, haha, fool me 3 times, screw you, Wizards, I'm going to order 1/10 my normal amount. Okay, they got their orders in. Great. Now what do? Leak the box artwork, or the booster artwork, which purposely is 3 really garbage mythics. Theoretically, they're going to be mythics. Oops, the set's going to be terrible. I better not call up, as an investor, I better not call up my distributor and tell them I need more because now the set actually looks good. So they're still hanging back. They're still, putting all their stuff out for pre-sale and giving up on it and just writing off the whole set. And then they're going to drop a spoiler list on us as late as possible that shows like it's freaking Liliana's and Snapcasters all day. Like the box EV could literally be over $400. Maybe even $500. Okay, think about that. A week and a half out from release, they drop like all the spoilers at once, and the box EV is $500. Oh, the investors made a mistake, but oops, their pre-orders are already in. Now, would the distributors really say they're not going to send them product? Probably not, but it's the best that Wizards can do to try to mislead them into, doing something stupid other than trying to hoard all of them, which they are trying to actively weed out these investors. They hate them almost as much as I do, it would seem. I mean, everything they did, like the Eternal Masters reprint, was pretty transparent. They did that because they wanted to screw over the investors, period. Plain as day, that is what they did. They did that on purpose. Why should middlemen sit there and pocket profits just for sitting on stuff? Why should that be a thing? Why shouldn't Wizards get all the money for their own damn product that they made? I completely agree. So I think, theoretically, it's possible. I'd give this about 75% odds right now that this set is going to be bonkers on the cards that are in it and the card value. It's probably going to be like Birds of Paradise, frickin', Path Exile. They'll put, I can't think of any good modern cards. I'll say Go for the Throat. That hit like $3, didn't it? Hell, put Soul Ring in there. I don't think that's even legal in Modern. It's just people want it and it's valuable. Like, I think they're going to throw like 50 really solid $10+ cards in this set at various rarities. And it's just going to be like end of the world level crazy mad rush for everybody to get the boxes. Oh, what a coincidence. They ran off 500%. But the investors missed their opportunity to order just hordes of it ahead of time. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then, any store owners could really quickly up the price. They could, instead of selling it for, 200 locally instead of 240, because it's online for 180, so they literally have to, they could raise it back up to 240 and reasonably get it. And that would be at the last second, like a couple days before release. It's brilliant. I think Wizards is scamming everybody, basically. Okay, scamming, that sounds terrible. Outsmarting everybody. They're being really, really, really clever and intelligent. It's actually, scamming has a really bad connotation to it. I shouldn't have said that. Scamming is what they did with Planechase Anthology. That's a more appropriate comparison. So anyway, that's the pros, that's the cons, that's the big dilemma. Everybody's asking the question right now, is it going to bomb? Is it just going to be a $160 garbage set with nothing good in it? And Wizards overprinted it because they're just idiots and they don't know what the hell they're doing, which, I mean, that kind of has like a familiar ring to it. Or are they trying to mess with all of our heads and they're printing one of the best sets ever and people are going to want it and it's going to just crash prices on Modern and they don't care because who cares what happens to Modern? And then, make the game more accessible. Let the people holding the cards, whine and complain about it. Who cares? They lost a little bit of value and Wizards pocketed the money. Great. I think that that's the most likely. I could certainly be wrong, but boy, would it be funny if I'm right. So where do I sit? I sit on an order of 24 boxes, I believe. Whatever about like 3,400 was or something like that. I don't know. It was weird because like I ordered a certain amount of cases, but then he reminded me at the last second that it's not a case of 6, it's a case of 4. And then I adjusted the numbers and I don't think I did it correctly. So I actually have no idea how much I'm getting. I don't remember. And it's not important because it's not $30,000 where I'd worry about it. And it's not $500 where I'd also worry about it because I might be missing something. It's right in the middle and that's fine. At the end of the day, if I'm paying $141 a box and I can get $155 on eBay, great. That's a higher percentage margin than I made on Kaladesh, which was a negative margin. I lost money on Kaladesh. So if this is one of the worst sets of all time, but I can still get $155 minus shipping and fees, and I make like $1 a box, good. That's fine. Yay, profitable set. Go me. I mean, it would kind of suck, but I wasn't supposed to get the set in the first place, so it's free money, even if it's like literally $25 profit. So I kind of don't really care what happens to the set either way, as long as it doesn't drop below the cost. That would be bad. So I guess we'll see what happens in a couple weeks. Let me know your opinion. If you have any additional information, especially, totally leave that down in the comment section. I will totally pin it if I can verify it. And let's solve this mystery. Or just wait 3 weeks. I don't care. I'll see you guys next video.